This week's vlogging video is going over all of the equipment that we use within the business. So the computers we have, the camera that I have, the lens, the microphone, basically all of that. I am a camera / electronics whore. I'm like obsessed with them. I don't know, it's like my weakness. I'm always wanting to buy new things and upgrade, and I don't really know a lot about them, but I just get really into them. So if you're interested in that, then this video is going over everything that we use on an electronics / equipment standpoint. Okay, I have my iPod out, ready to go over everything. So for computers, I have a MacBook Pro laptop, and then I have a desktop Mac. So we use Macs basically just because we use Adobe products, and they're really good with Adobe products. You easily could use a Dell, and the reason that I have both the laptop and the MacBook is because it's not even for blogging purposes at all. I'm doing like AutoCAD and SketchUp, which is home like design programs and architecture programs, and so that's why I have those. But I love my Mac. I don't think I could personally ever go back. I mean, I know I could, but I really do like my Mac more than a Dell, and I've had both. But just from the creative aspect, like you definitely don't need to have them both. And on the MacBook or the Mac desktop, we actually had more RAM put into it so that it works like way faster. And that has been so nice, because I had an old Mac computer that did not hold any storage, and it was the most annoying thing in the entire world. I feel like this video is gonna be a lot of first world problems, so just a warning. But it's just things that go along with products that we use. Then for the laptop, and I guess the desktop too, we use LaCie's, which are really popular in the blogging world actually, and it basically just holds all of our extra files. Sarah uses the LaCie way more than I do. Now I really just upload everything to Google Drive, just because I feel like it's easier for transporting between computers, but the LaCie is just a storage, a little block. I know there's an exact name for it, and it holds so much stuff. It's a little bit expensive. It's like $100, but at least we can back up everything that we do. So with like the blogging and internet, there's not much that you need to back up because it basically automatically backs up for you. So this is just like a thing on top of it for, it's basically just extra security, and then like photos and videos and printables, and like we have all of our planner documents on it. It just gives us a second spot to put things in case things go wrong with our laptops, basically. All right, then the big one. We get questions asked about this all the time, and it's what camera we use. So I have gone through 2 cameras, and I'm slowly upgrading. So this current camera that this is getting filmed on is a Canon EOS 60 Mark II. I love this camera. I think it's really good, but what I realized, it's not actually about the camera, it's about the lens. So the reasons why I like the camera is because it has Bluetooth, so I can just automatically send the photos from the camera to my phone, and I don't need to like put it on the computer if I don't want to, so I can do it way faster. It's really easy to use, kind of. I should probably go to a class to it, but like it's decently easy to use. There's definitely way harder cameras out there to use, and it's really nice. And it stands up. Like I should probably be more gentle with this camera than I am, and it has never broken on me, so knock on wood on that one. But for the lens, so the lens, this was expensive. The lens was basically the same price as the camera, but it is so good. So we use a Sigma 24mm 1.4 lens. So the 1.4 is like how blurry it gets. So if I come up closer, let's see if this works. You see how it gets blurry in the background, but then I stand still. And also the reason that I like this camera, this is the camera thing, not lens thing, is that I can move around and it will keep me in focus. So like I don't manually have to do it. So I can come back here and it'll refocus. I can come up here and it'll refocus. So that's really nice, because my old camera didn't do that. And so I'd have to like set up like brooms and stuff and get it focused on the broom so I could stay in focus, and it was just like a mess. The only thing I don't like with this camera, which you'll notice in some of our videos, is that there is a little bit of like noise when it focuses, which some videos is louder than others. We cannot figure it out. I don't know why it's like that. And then the 24mm, we should have gone even, we should have probably just got one, or 24mm, we should have maybe gone more because we wanted semi-wide angle, which we realized that's not even wide angle, we thought it was, for our like interior photography. So that was kind of a mistake, but this is such a good lens. And we went with Sigma because we really couldn't tell a difference, and it was cheaper than the Canon version, but they're like the same thing. So at least I think they're the same thing. I'm like I really actually don't know what I'm talking about with this, but just from the little bit of researching I did, I believe it's the same thing. The neighbors who could hear us needed the air turned on. Okay, so back to the lens. I think I covered everything that I needed to cover with the lens. Okay, then we have our microphone that we use just to make it sound better. So we use the Rode, don't know exactly how you pronounce it, microphone. It actually really does make the video sound so much better and clearer. It kind of gets rid of like that echo, which just sounds a lot better. This was definitely not a necessary expense, but we were getting comments from people being like, your audio sucks. So this is our attempt at making it sound better. And then lastly, there's really not too much to go over here. We use just this tripod. It is this tripod, the UB size. We could get nicer ones. I want to upgrade to the there's like this really fancy tripod. Let me see if I can find the name of it. Manfrotto. That's the name of the really fancy one, but they're like $500. But all the professional photographers have them, and I'm like, I want it. Those are like the unnecessary things that I just absolutely do not need, but I get like obsessed with it in my mind. So that goes over all of that, all of the equipment that we use for editing photos. We use Lightroom, just like Adobe. I use my phone for so much, like all of my Instagram stories, and a lot of photography. I just use my phone. All my TikToks, I use my phone to film all of those. So I actually want to upgrade my phone because I feel like I was at a wedding this past weekend and everyone was taking photos and everyone was like, Sophie, your phone sucks with photos. I'm like, I know, I don't know why it does. It must be like a setting or something. That's the equipment. I really do love everything we have. And it has taken a while to get like these things we've slowly bought because they're obviously so expensive. For the first 3 years of my blog, I was using the laptop that I was using for school that I bought for myself when I was like 18 years old, and then I was using an old camera that my parents had. So you really don't need, like, you could use your phone for, I mean, you need a laptop for like the blogging side of things, but you could use your phone for all the photos and you could do such a good job of it. I use the phone for probably like 50% of the stuff, 75% of the stuff that we do here. And it works very, very well. So that is all the equipment I use. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe for next week's video, and also our newsletter. I send out a blogging email every single week going over my top tips and tricks and just like anything that I think you should know about blogging or starting a blog that makes money or sales of products that I use, really anything. So that wraps up this video. I'll see you at next week's blogging video.